Hello and welcome to your sacred yoga practice. Today we'll begin in a comfortable seat, our Sukhasana. You may want to have at least one block with you today. That's optional, but if you have a block, go ahead and bring it to your mat. So beginning in our comfortable seat with the legs crossed, we'll sit up nice and tall, hands rest on the knees. You can bring your index finger to thumb for your Gyan Mudra. This promotes mental clarity. And let's take a few deep breaths together. So exhale through your mouth. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a big open mouth exhale. Let's do two more. Inhale. Let it go. Again, inhale. And a big exhale. Now seal your lips. Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Begin to draw the breath out as long as possible. This is our Ujjayi breath. Each exhale is like the wave of an ocean washing through you. As you breathe, your body softens, your mind softens as you arrive in the present moment. Continue your breath in and out through your nose. Our practice today is focusing on living in the flow. So as we move through our postures, we'll be focusing on our breath, syncing our breath to our movement as we create synchronicity in body, mind, and spirit. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Now on your next inhale, reach the hands overhead so the palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down to your heart space. I invite you to set an intention for this practice. Why are you here? What brought you to your mat today? As you breathe into the heart space, we'll sing the sound of Om together to begin our practice, to soothe our nervous system and raise our vibration. Inhale. On your inhale, reach the arms wide and overhead, palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. Continue this breath to movement flow. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, drawing them down to the heart. Do this a few more times as we connect our breath to our movement. On your next inhale, reach the hands wide, and then send the hands wide and down by your sides, fingertips to the earth. On an inhale breath, send the left arm high, side bend stretch over to the right. Look up towards your hand, feel the shoulders melt away from your ears. Take a deep breath as you lengthen through the fingertips. On your next inhale, rise back up through center. We'll switch sides for the exhale. Side bend over to the left. Look up toward the hand. Take a nice deep breath. On your inhale, we'll rise. Exhale back over to the right. And continue this breath to movement flow now. Inhale, extending. Exhale, bending. And continue this flow, breath to movement. And rest with the fingertips by your sides. Bring your hands forward. Let's roll into tabletop, hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide. Let your feet soften into the earth. And on an inhale breath, lower the belly, gaze up for your cow pose. Exhale, cat, round the spine, chin to chest. And continue this breath to movement flow as we gently awaken the spine. Inviting breath into each vertebrae. And then start to invite organic movement in, so you can look over one shoulder and the other. Maybe start to roll out the head, the neck. Let your breath inspire your movements. Then start to make big circles now with the hips, like you're drawing a circle on the earth with your heart. Big circles. And take these circles in the opposite direction. Big circles now. We're getting deeper into the hips, into the shoulders. And come back to center. On your inhale breath, send the right arm high, reach up toward the sky. Roll out that hand and the wrist. And then wrap your arm around your low back. Roll the right shoulder open as you lift your chest. Take a deep breath here. Inhale, send that right arm high. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring the arm under your torso, right cheek to the earth. Send the left hand out in front of you as you breathe. Soften into your right shoulder. Take another deep breath. And start to press yourself back up. Inhale, send the right arm high. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Inhale, send the left arm high. Look up toward the ceiling. Roll out that wrist. And then wrap the arm around your low back. Roll that left shoulder open. Gaze up to the sky. Take a deep breath. Inhale, send the arm high. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring that arm under your torso. Send the right arm out in front of you and soften into the shoulder. Breathe here, in and out through the nose. And then press yourself back up. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Now we'll move into puppy pose. Walk the hands forward, lower your chest to the earth, forehead to the ground. Hips stay stacked over the knees. Feel that stretch in the shoulders and around the rib cage. Option to bring your chin to the floor, looking forward. Let's take 2 deep breaths. And then slowly press yourself back up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, send your hips high for downward facing dog. Press through your hands, relax your head, look back between the knees. Bend the knees, reach that tailbone up a little higher, feeling a nice stretch along the back of the thighs. Spread your toes wide as you feel your heels soften toward the earth. Take a nice deep breath here. Then invite in any organic movement. We all have our own rituals in down dog. You can walk out the heels, roll out the ankles, nod your head yes and no. Just take a few breaths here, feeling fluid in your movement. Then look forward, walk the feet up toward the top of your mat. Get your feet stacked underneath your hips. Bend your knees, grab your elbows for ragdoll. Relax your head. You can rock side to side a little bit if that feels good. And spread the toes wide. Draw the belly in so you can fold a little closer over your thighs. Take a nice deep breath. And release your hands to the earth. Heel toe the feet together so the big toes touch. On your inhale, lengthen the spine. Find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, relax your head. Bend your knees, inhale, rise up to standing. Let's reach the hands overhead, palms touch. Stay for a breath here, lengthening through the spine, up through the fingertips. Find an inhale breath. Exhale, back bend, cactus the elbows, expand the chest. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, send the arms wide, fingertips rest on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank pose, shoulders stack over wrists. Find a nice deep breath here in your plank, feeling strong. Light up the arms and legs, squeeze your core, and then begin to lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck the toes, inhale cobra, lift the chest, lengthen the back of your neck. Take a deep breath here as you press your feet into the earth. Exhale, soften. Inhale, press up to plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Take a nice deep breath here in your down dog. Spread the fingers wide. And then lift your heels, look forward. Let's travel to the top of the mat. Forward fold, relax your head. Take a nice deep breath here. We're going to flow through all of that, breath to movement, for our sun salutations. So on your inhale breath, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, rise up, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, take a back bend, cactus the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Let's lower all the way down to our belly, untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale, tuck the toes, press up plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Let's look forward, travel to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, rise up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, back bend, cactus the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, relax your head. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank pose, lower down to the belly, untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Spread the fingers wide. Draw the navel in, reach your tailbone up. The breath should be flowing. You should feel really good right now. Muscles are warmed up. Spread the fingers wide. On your inhale breath, send that right leg high. Exhale, pull the foot forward, step it to the top of your mat. Inhale, we'll rise up, crescent lunge, hands stack over the shoulders. Strong back leg, squeeze that back thigh. Spread the fingers wide, palms face each other. Lunge until that knee stacks over the ankle. One more full breath here. Exhale, warrior two. Plant the back heel down, palms are wide and open. Stack the right knee over the ankle, roll your shoulders back and away from your ears. Take a nice deep breath. On your inhale, reach that right hand as far forward as you can. Exhale, tick-tock the arms. Extended side angle. Look up towards that left hand as you breathe. Lengthen through the right rib cage. Squeeze the back leg. On your inhale breath, we'll come into reverse warrior. Switch arms. Right arm reaches up. Keep the lunge in that front knee as you breathe. And cartwheel your hands down to the mat. On your exhale, step the right foot back. We're in plank pose. Option to take chaturanga. You can always lower to your knees, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips high. Let's take that on the other side. Inhale, send the left leg high. Exhale, pull the foot forward, step it to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge, reach the hands over your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, squeeze that back leg, and lunge into the left knee until it stacks over the ankle. Find an inhale breath to lengthen. Exhale, warrior two, plant the back heel down. Look over your left hand. Lunge into that front knee until it stacks over the ankle. Feel the shoulders roll back and away from your ears as you breathe. On an inhale breath, reach that left hand forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Gazes up towards the right hand. Lengthen through the left rib cage. Keep the back of your neck long. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reverse warrior. Send the left arm high. Little to no weight in that back arm. Gaze up to the sky. Lunge a little deeper into the left leg. Take a deep breath. And then cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Step that left foot back, plank pose. We'll lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Let's flow through that again. Breath to movement, so a little bit faster. Starting with the right leg. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot forward. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Step back, plank pose, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step that foot forward. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, step the foot back, plank pose, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. In and out through your nose. Let's take another deep breath with an open mouth exhale. Inhale, send that right leg high. Exhale, step the foot outside your right hand to the top right edge of the mat. Bring the back knee down, lizard lunge. Back toes untuck, pull the heart forward, gaze forward, take a nice deep breath. Option to stay here. You can bring your hand to the inside of your right knee for a twist, or you can bend the back knee, reaching back with your hand. Lift the chest up to the sky as you breathe. And gently release that back foot, both hands back to the floor. Heel toe your right foot between your hands. Lift the back knee. We're going to rise up into warrior two. Arms are wide. Preparing for your triangle pose here, you're going to straighten your right leg. Reach the hips back, right hand forward, then tick-tock the arms. Look up towards that left hand now. This is where you can use your block if you have one. Press your hand into the block to create a nice long line, wrist to wrist. Lengthen the right side body. Take a deep breath here. Star pose. We're going to open up to the side of our mat, nice and wide. Fingers spread wide, toes spread wide, expanding in every direction here. Let's take a big inhale breath, open mouth exhale. Hands to heart center, pull the heels in, bend into the knees for your goddess squat. Draw the shoulders back and together. The weight is in your heels. Take a nice deep breath. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the legs, toes turn to the side of your mat again. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's walk it back around to the top of our mat. And then step that foot back. Downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg high. And step your foot to the top left corner of your mat. Bring the back knee down. Untuck the back toes for your lizard lunge. Pull the heart forward and breathe. Option to come into a twist. You can press your hand into your knee, lifting the heart. Or you can bend the back knee, grab the foot, lift the chest for a twist, and breathe. One more deep breath here. And gently release that back foot, both hands back to the floor. Heel toe your left foot between your hands. We're going to rise up into a warrior two. Send the arms wide. Let's straighten that left leg, preparing for our triangle pose. Send the hips back, reach that front hand forward, and then send the arms wide. Option to grab your block again here, getting a nice stretch in the inner thigh. Make sure you're not locking that left knee. We want a gentle micro bend. The back of the neck is nice and long. Take a deep breath. One more. Let's open up into our star pose again. Arms go wide, legs wide, expand in every direction. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Hands to heart center. Pull the heels in. Sit into your squat again. Nice deep breath here. Lengthen through the neck. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, Prasarita, forward fold. Stay for a nice deep breath here. Getting a good stretch on the back of the legs. Relax your head. Take one more breath. And inhale, lengthen the spine. Walk it back around to the top of your mat. Step the feet back, downward facing dog. Let's bring the feet together, knees together, and then lower your knees to the earth. We'll take hero's pose. So you're going to keep the knees together, sit your feet wide, and you're going to sit right between your heels. Now you may want to sit on a block if that's a little tight on your knees. That's always an option. Okay, so sit into your variation that feels good for you and lengthen through the spine. Take a nice deep breath. And then option to place your hands back and behind you, lifting your chest, lengthen the back of your neck. Take a deep breath. Option to come back onto your forearms if that feels good. And you can even lay all the way back. We'll take 2 deep breaths wherever you are. And slowly rise back up to center. Walk the hands forward into a tabletop. Make some circles with the hips here. Downward facing dog when you're ready. We're going to take pigeon pose. We'll start with the right leg high and then pull that knee forward, lay it across the mat. Slide your left leg back. Press up to the hands first, taking a nice deep breath here. You can look over the right shoulder. And then relax, walking the hands forward into your sleepy pigeon pose. Rest your head. We'll take 3 deep breaths. And slowly begin to press yourself back up. Tuck the back toes. We'll send that right leg high again. Inhale, send it up. Bend the knee, stack open the hip. Option to come into wild thing by setting the foot behind you. Lift your chest and breathe. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left leg high for pigeon pose. Pull that knee forward, lay the leg down. Slide your right leg back and behind you. Take a moment here to lift the chest. Look over that left shoulder. Take a deep breath. And then slowly lower forward into your pigeon pose. Rest your head. Take 3 deep breaths here. And slowly begin to press yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck the back toes. Inhale, send that left leg high. Bend the knee, stack open the hip. Option to fall back into your wild thing, lifting the hips. Take a deep breath. Downward facing dog. Let's bring it down to our knees again, coming into a seat. We will send the feet forward and then wide for a nice wide forward fold. Flex your feet, lengthen the spine nice and tall. Feel the hips shift forward. If you feel really rounded in your low back, sit on your block or a pillow to help get the spine really tall. Take a deep breath here. On your exhale, you can begin to walk the hands forward, keeping the spine long as far as you can. And then when you feel ready, round forward, relaxing your head. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. And slowly begin to walk the hands back in. We'll grab the knees, bring the feet to the floor, roll back onto your back for bridge pose. So in our bridge, we've got our knees bent. Draw your feet towards your hands. Your middle fingers just barely brush the back of your heels. Press your palms down. On an inhale breath, lift the hips nice and tall. You can shimmy your shoulders together, maybe even interlace your hands on the mat beneath you. Keep pressing your feet into the ground, lengthen the back of your neck, take a nice deep breath. On your next inhale breath, lift the hips, lift the heels, release your hands, slowly roll the spine down. Let the knees knock in toward each other. One hand on your heart, the other on your belly. Take a nice deep breath. We'll take one more back bend. Option to take bridge pose again, or you can move into full wheel. I'll be cueing wheel pose, but feel free to take bridge, or even take a restorative bridge by sliding a block under your hips. All right, feet stay as they are. We'll bring our hands up to our shoulders. Fingers point back toward our collarbones. On your inhale breath, lift up onto your head first. And when you're ready, press through the hands into full bridge pose. Let's take 2 deep breaths wherever you are. Tuck the chin, slowly roll back down to the floor. Knees knock in together. One hand to your heart, the other to your belly, and just breathe. Send your hands up and over your head. Bring the feet as wide as your mat and just kind of rock the knees side to side. Side to side. From here we'll move into legs up the wall. So draw the feet in, send your legs straight up toward the sky. All right, now you have the option to stay here, or you can move through shoulder stand and plow with me. So from legs up the wall, we're gonna lift the hips, use our hands to support the back of the hips, keeping the legs nice and long. Squeeze the legs and breathe here. Just allowing the flow of our breath and our blood and all of our energy to flow in the opposite direction. Now start to bring the feet up and over your head. Toes touch the ground. You can keep your hands at your low back, or if it feels safe for you, your feet are touching the ground, you can bring your hands to the mat. Take a nice deep breath here. Now bend your knees, start to draw them towards your shoulders. Hands reach up and overhead for the outer edges of your feet. Let's start to roll down one vertebrae at a time into happy baby. You can rock the hips side to side if that feels good. Keep the spine nice and flat on the ground and breathe. And then relax, draw your knees into your chest. We'll take Apasana, so we're gonna keep the right knee in, send the left leg long. Hug that knee into your chest and breathe here as we soften the right hip. And now with your left hand, you're gonna guide your knee across your body for a supine twist. Gaze out at the right hand and breathe. Take a few final breaths here along the spine. A final chance to let go of any tension in the body, anything that may lower our vibration or block us off from the flow of life. And release your twist. Let's switch legs. Pull the left knee in, right leg long, and breathe. Pull the knee towards your rib cage. Feel the hips soften. And on your next exhale, draw that knee across your body. Supine twist. Gazes out to the left hand now, and breathe. Breathe along the spine. And then slowly release back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift your chin up to your knees. Squeeze into a tiny ball. And then release into Shavasana. Arms and legs go long. Palms roll open by your sides. You can lift your chest, kind of shimmy the shoulder blades together to feel the collarbones expand. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through your mouth. Feel the arms and legs soften. Hips soften. Shoulders soften. Soften your jaw, your face, eyebrows. And feel your mind soften. And feel your spirit soften as we rest here in our final resting pose, Shavasana. And start to deepen your breath, bringing your awareness back into your body. And turn your head side to side. And reach your hands overhead, point your toes, take a nice deep stretch. And then roll onto your right side when you feel ready, resting your head on your arm. And just stay here for a moment in the space in between. Just soaking up a final breath, a final moment in our yoga practice. And when you feel ready, press up to Sukhasana, where we began in our easy seat. Sit up nice and tall. Flip the palms open. Let them rest on your knees. Open to receive this practice and this work. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just notice how you feel here in this space. May you take this feeling with you into your life. On your inhale breath, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, draw them down to the heart space. Returning to your intention. Or maybe you create one now. What can you take with you from this practice into your day, into your work, and your relationships? Let's activate this intention and finish our practice today with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Thank you for joining me here for this practice and for unrolling your mat with me. It is always an honor to guide you through your yoga practice. Lift your hands up to your forehead, to the divine space within. I bow forward, honoring the light within you. Namaste.